This is Siri from Siri Tutor Blogs. In the last session, we have seen how the implementation of different classes and the configuration files for developing a web application, Spring Web application project using MVC architecture. So today we are going to see how we can execute them. So um, I was trying to run this application previously before the session. So let's kill the application. So whenever we kill the application, one more thing I just want to give you a heads up. The pre-destroy servlet implementation will be called whenever we invoke whenever we shut down the server, and for even for that one as well, where the interceptor is going to call. The interceptor has the pre-handler, post-handler, and after complete. So all these things, all the three handlers for the interceptor is going to call for any kind of action. So we are going to kill now, and let's rerun the application one more time. Okay. Okay, so when we see this println statements, what we are seeing is the println statements coming from the web initializer. Uh, it is the same exact println statements that we have given here, all the five steps, which is the create Spring Web application context that has been created, and we are registering the web config that config.class. This one we are registering that, and we are creating a dispatcher servlet, and then we are registering the dispatcher servlet into the container, and then we are mapping it to the root um, root, so that whenever there is a request comes, it takes root this slash as a default root, and then it's initializing all the service constructors. So in the service we have given the constructors. So if you go here, you will see the service. This is where you're getting all this message from, and this is coming from the post constructor. In the post constructor, we are invoking three objects. Here we are creating three objects here. That's why the count is 3 here, and after that, yeah, the count is 3 here, and after that it says it is ready, and then it goes to the controller. The controller is right here, user controller. The controller has a constructor as well. We have written a constructor for, yeah, this. So the this controller, this message is coming from here, and we are initializing the user service. This is IOC, uh, uh, and it gives the facility for dependency injection. Um, and then it goes to the controller now, which is this one, and it starts invoking each and every method here. So the first method, it is coming from here, the configuration context navigation, um, and then it will invoke each and every bean which is in this config, web config. Okay, now let's run the application. So we are invoking the application using this user registry. So if you come here, we have we set to this application as take slash user as the default one, but slash is the root. After slash, the default one, request mapping, should be usually has to be done through user, right? mm, so that's why we have given slash user, and then we started giving this get mapping, which is the get call, and after slash user we have to give register. So that is where when we hit this one, it's going to invoke this. But before invoking this one, the interceptors will always call. If you remember from my last session, the interceptors, interceptors are calling here, and the post interceptors will call after this. So pre interceptors, and then this method is being executed. So it is all executing this method, and then once it returns the user form, once the controller executes, it will do the post handler. So uh, the after the post handler, then the user is rendered. See, if you see here, view name user form, so post handler. So here process produce proceeding to the view handler. So once, so this post handler happens even before the view is being rendered. So it happens before the controller is being executed. The post handler will execute, and then this view page will be displayed, and then the after complete uh, will be handled. The interceptor after complete will be handled. Now let's enter mm some data into this. Test 123 will enter test 123 at the rate gmail.com, and then some password, and okay, register. So test 123. So we clicked on register, right? When we click on register, it is the new call. It's a post call. It makes a post call. So that is when. So even making this post call, what happens is pre-handle interceptor is going to execute. So here, if you see, uh, if you see, after complete, pre-handler is being executed. Okay, then we have made a call to user post is the method that it is taking. Then the the controller is getting executed. All this information is going to be executed. What it is doing is, when we hit on register, it comes here, and model attribute, it will get the model attribute. Okay, user, and binding result also it will take. So binding results are for the validations, and model and redirect attribute. So four things it is taking. Okay, now binding result has error. So if UI has some errors, binding result, that means if this thing, if the name is less than 6 characters long, that is an error. So those kind of errors will come into this condition, and then it will check, it will give us that this error is been caught here, and those kind of errors are going to be printed on the console, and it will again redirect us to the user form. Again it returns the user form. If none of the errors are not caught, it if a user has entered all expected values, then it comes here, and here um, the registration user, registered user, it's going to call that implementation of the registered user here. And what it does is it will simply say get the username, and then it's going to find the user in the user storage. So user storage is nothing but a map object. Here we are taking key as a name of the user and the object of the user class. Um, so it will check if that name is already existing. If nothing returns existing, it will say it's already existing, and it returns, just returns null. If it's not existing, it will not go into this condition. It comes out and it will put that value into the map, and it increases the count, and it just prints the size. That is what it is doing. Total user is 4. Initially when we loaded the application, we have by default we have created 3 objects, and this is the fourth object. That's the name. That is why the total users are 4. Okay. And then it prints this size, and it returns the user. Okay, it returns the user. So it just returns, it go back here again, and that user is going to be here. And we are just simply checking again. If the user is double equals to null, it goes here. If user is there, we are just printing that as a controller. So these all println statements are coming from here. And then we are redirect attribute. So here we have declared a redirect attribute, right? Redirect attribute as well. So mm, um, redirect. So in the last session we have it was not showing this section in the last session, but the reason for that is we have a typo here. I have added success capital S at the beginning, success message. This success message is routed in user form. Okay, let me show you. uh, um where did it go? Oh yeah, here. It was not showing that form, so this was not matching to that value over there. So that is the reason why it is failing. And also, it was not redirecting to the success page in the last thing, in the last session. The reason is there is a space here. There should not be any spaces. So we are redirecting it to this page, and we are saying welcome to the test A 1 2 3 or test Siri, like that. We are giving the name of the user there. um, and then we are just printing this println statement, and it is redirecting it to the success page, success.jsp, right? Then that is pretty much it for so yeah, I forgot to tell you that after executing the controller, the post handler interceptor is going to execute, and after that, after complete is going to execute. That is hold on one sec. Oh, so there are two types of see, after complete, again there is a pre-handler. The reason for this is because it is redirecting to a new success page. So before calling the success page also, the pre-handler handles, and and pre-handler handles, and then the controller is going to execute. After the completion of the controller, the post handler will carry on, and thereafter, after complete is going to handle. That is how it is going on. So let's look into the other method calls. So we have seen get and post method call, and now let's look into the slash success. What is this? Yeah. So this is directly, it is calling to class slash success. So this is what it is getting the value from the success page that we have already just saw it, right? And then now API slash user name. Let's see if the username is this. So what is the logic we have written here? It should, what it is saying, if you click on this, if you if you send a request URL with this type of URL, it should produce a JSON file. Here it is not a JSON file, it is a JSP altogether. It is returning a JSP page. But here it is producing a JSON, JSON as an output. So it's not. So what we are trying to say here is we are taking a path variable username, whatever the username we are giving here, it is taking that, and then it is finding that particular user. Okay, and it's finding that particular user. And instead, in the last session we were defaulting it to a, default user. It's not just finding it, it's not really finding it, it's just giving a template user, how many times you have entered. So here, but now what we are doing is we are finding that user, which is implemented here. We are finding that user in the storage, user storage map class, with the lowercase. So last time I think when we tried to run this request, it's not able to find because it is we are giving an uppercase, but it's not able to find out. But here what we are trying to do is we are getting the value, um, and we are making converting into the lowercase and putting it in the user, and that user we are searching it here. If user not null, it says service user found. So we should see this console println statement on the console, and then it should not go into this if statement, it should return this user. When it returns this user here, it will simply say um, it will returning to the user as a JSON. Okay, and then return user. Okay, we are just returning the user object, that's it. So let's do that. Here API, our thing is test A123, right? See, it is not returning a default user, and we are seeing that. Okay, so let's do that. So yeah, so 34, if you remember, the age is 34, right? uh, as far as I remember, we are not taking any default. Whatever we have given there is the correct one, which we are seeing. Because see, in the implementation, if it is not found, 33 is the default one. If it is not found, we are putting a template here, like the default variables, and just returning it. But we are seeing a 34, which is what we have entered. Okay, um, that is the one. And then let's go to the next one, which is slash search, and the value is search, and this also will produce a JSON file. Here the previous one is um, a search, but we are giving the input here. But for this one, we are sending the request parameters. So when you are sending the request parameters, so path variable is something like this. You have to provide the path variable in the URL itself. But request parameters is a little bit different. I'll show you. So just observe here. The name should be the required is true. You should give the name, and minimum age required is false. You don't need to give that. Even if you don't need to give, even if you don't provide it, you will get a response from there. And then user slash search. So let's go into search implementation. So here what we are trying to do is user storage dot values. It is getting all the values in the map object through a stream, and it is filtering with the username into, it's making the username into all the username into the lowercase, which contains name dot so this name, whatever the name we are giving, uh, contains this name or not, we are seeing that. And also the filter of age, not equal to null, uh, and greater than minimum age is 0. Okay. And those two filters, whatever the result are we are getting, we are returning it in the form of a collectors dot to list. And we have created a list variable here, and we are returning the all the uh, that particular object, only that particular object, not all, only that particular object into the list, to list. Okay, into the list object here. And we are just returning that values, because they are two variables, right? That's the reason we are returning to a list. Okay. um, and let's look into that one now. So user search, and this is how the request parameters we have to give. Question mark name equals to John, and minimum age is 20. No, no. So there is one small this thing here. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let's change this to test 123, and age is 34, right? And click on enter. uh, so it found whatever we have entered here, 34 and all the phone numbers. But as I said, that is not a mandatory one, minimum age. So if you avoid giving minimum age, it still should able to give, because that is what the condition we have entered there. And what else? Yeah, if there is no user existing, um, if we yeah, John is also, I think it's already existing. If there is no user existing like xyz, then it will give an empty thing. um, but John is present, so it is going to give the John, because John is already there. If you remember me telling that when during the constructor call, it has created three default objects. That is when um, it has initiated the John as well. So let me show you in the post call. I think we have, yeah, here is the John, and here is all the different objects that we have created. Okay, next go let's go to the next URL is slash all. Slash all, let's see, slash all, what it's going to do is it's going to display all the users which we have created. These are the three users that was created default, but this is the user which was created just now. Okay, let's look into all what it is doing. It produces the JSON file. We are not seeing any UI, only JSON. And then it's displaying this one. And what it is all doing is the implementation is it is returning all the values from the user storage. That is pretty much it it's doing. So just returning a array list by retrieving all the values from the user storage into the list array, and it is displaying them onto the JSON. That is all. That's very straightforward. Mm, the next one is the single proof, singleton proof. That's also going to display a JSON, and it's going to display this message, and all it is doing is it is just returning the information. Just get the instance info, and that info we are just displaying it here. So okay, just displaying it here and get user count. How many users are there? Instance count and instance count. So let's this is not in a JSON format. It's a single return statement, return string that we are returning in a single row, right? So that's way. So it is saying message user service is a singleton. And what is the name of the singleton? User service implementation, and the total count is 4. Proof call this proof to call this as endpoint multiple times. The same instance ashes for 4. Okay, just to prove that this is a singleton, and it initializes the object only once. It creates the object, and all the all the different classes, all the will use the same object whenever there is required. So that way it gives us the loose coupling, not the tight coupling. This is what I want to demonstrate. This is a web based application. I felt it very interesting. I want to share this knowledge with you. I hope you will enjoy this video. Um, there is a Git repo for this one as well. If anyone wants to access this Git repo, please let me know in in the comment section. I will definitely respond to you. And also, please share with your friends. Please like it and subscribe it. Thank you and have a nice day. Take care. Bye.